Foreign leaders criticized Trump. Now they're courting him. As flames engulfed Notre Dame Cathedral more than 5 years ago, the French Civil Defense Agency seemed to mock President Donald Trump, who had tweeted to suggest using flying water tankers to put out the blaze. The agency warned Trump that using aircraft to drop water on the centuries-old building could lead to the collapse of the entire structure of the cathedral. That sort of unfriendliness has not survived Trump's election victory last month. The president-elect was set to return to Paris on Saturday, not as a punchline, but as a guest of honor for the reopening of the cathedral, whose guardians had once had a laugh at his expense. Foreign leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, who invited Trump to Notre Dame's reopening, have spent much of the month since the election scrambling to curry favor with the once and future president, whose isolationist, America First agenda has left many leaders worried that he will reduce U.S. investment in defending global democracies. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau dined with Trump at Mar-a-Lago last month after Trump threatened new tariffs against his country, and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who is Dutch, made a trip to Trump's Florida outpost this week to urge the president-elect to continue to support Ukraine. Other world leaders, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, have spoken to Trump on the phone. Foreign leaders are coming to the table to meet with President Trump because they know he will restore peace through strength and reclaim America's dominance on the world stage, said Taylor Rogers, a Trump-Vance transition spokeswoman. Macron has not yet publicly commented on Trump's visit, which will include talks at the Élysée Palace and a ceremony in the storied cathedral with about 50 other foreign heads of state and government. During a 25-minute phone call on November 30, Macron congratulated Trump on his victory and discussed areas of common concern, including the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, according to a briefing from the Élysée. Trump called the invitation an honor in a post on Truth Social, adding that Macron has succeeded in restoring the cathedral to its full level of glory. The warm exchange punctuated a hot and cold relationship between the returning U.S. president and the embattled French leader. Over the years, Macron has often rebuked Trump's approach to foreign policy. Trump tore into Macron in a morning tweet storm in 2018 after Macron delivered a speech on the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I that was widely viewed as a criticism of Trump's brand of nationalism. The next year, Trump complained that Macron's remarks about NATO's brain death, following Trump's broadsides against the organization, were very, very nasty and very disrespectful. But despite these disagreements, Macron has at other times been able to use a combination of flattery and male bravado to connect with Trump. By honoring the president-elect with an invitation to a spectacle celebrating a famous building, Macron appears to have once again appealed to the interests of the longtime real estate tycoon, who is known for his appreciation of opulent architecture. The French press has described Trump's attendance as a diplomatic coup for Macron, who is scrambling to respond to a no-confidence vote that triggered the collapse of the French government. Zelensky will also be in Paris on Saturday, but a representative for Zelensky, a Trump transition official, and the Élysée did not comment on whether he would meet with Trump. Zelensky is scheduled to have a separate conversation with Macron an hour after Macron's meeting with Trump. Such a meeting between Trump and Zelensky would be very helpful indeed, said a Western official, speaking on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive diplomatic matters. They talk on the phone after President Trump's victory, but a direct meeting would certainly be important so that they could exchange on the situation and prepare future steps after Mr. Trump's inauguration, the official said. Both Western diplomats and Ukrainian officials hope this meeting will take place in Paris this weekend, the Western official said. The stakes for global leaders' outreach to Trump are higher than in his first term, as he enters office amid the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. The Biden administration has been scrambling to provide more weapons to Kyiv and recently approved Ukraine's use of long-range U.S. missiles inside Russia, amid concerns about the Kremlin's advances on the battlefield and Trump's potential reversal of U.S. policies on the war. Trump's pick for Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, recently met with leaders in Qatar and Israel for talks about a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza. Trump's appearance in Paris and foreign leaders' continued courting of him and his advisors indicate how rapidly his power has grown, even before President Joe Biden leads office. First Lady Jill Biden is scheduled to attend the Notre Dame reopening, but the president, who returned from a trip to Angola on Thursday, is expected to remain in Washington